under area. What is area?
What is area, Mr. Haas?
Area. Trevor, you close the door, please. We use area when we want to tell somebody how much space something takes up. That's not correct because that's volume 2. But we measure area in how many square units. Square units. And probably the biggest place we talk about area is usually with houses. When you buy a house or move in a house, somebody will say, how big is your house? And usually you can't say, well, my house is kind of big or kind of small, because that's all relative, because to the Queen of England, a big house would be something the size of a castle. To some poor homeless person somewhere, a big house might be something that only has 1 bedroom. So we have to have a way of telling people how big your houses are that is exact, and we do that using area. And usually houses are in square what, do you know? Square feet. What is a square feet? Foot. A square foot is just like it says, it's a square that is 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot. If you really want to know exactly what a square foot is, you could look at my floor, and every tile down there is a square foot. Now, you don't have to use square feet as your things. You could talk about a square inch, which would be an inch by an inch by an inch. And you can either write it as 1 inch squared, or you could write 1 square inch. Either way, it means the same thing. A square centimeter, I can't even really draw something that small. 1 centimeter square. You know, you could have a square millimeter, which would be, I can't, something like a dot. You could have a square mile. How big would a square mile be? Well, if it was a square mile, you'd start here at 47 in a minute and drive all the way down until you get to that other road there, which isn't quite a mile, but it's close. And then you'd have to drive from that road all the way to Walker Road, and that would be the corners of your road. We would measure states in square miles, or countries would get measured in how many square miles it is. You wouldn't measure your front yard in square miles. Your front yard would probably be square feet. We have acres, I guess we use in the area, but that's so many square feet. Now, how do you find area? Well. You know, usually we talk about areas of just like little rectangles. And let's say this rectangle is, I don't know, let's say it's 4 inches by 6 inches. Now, one way we can find area is we could cut it into the little squares that we're talking about. This is 4 inches, so we mark off our 4 inches. We'll draw our 4 inches this way. This is 6 inches, so we mark our 6 inches like this. And we could count, by the way, you'd be able to do this better on your more paper because you have nice perfect squares. And then you can just count how many square inches this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So this thing is, and by the way, you definitely need to label. You can't just write 24 down. You need to write 24 inches squared or square inches, however, because 24 inches is not the same as 24 inches squared. And then, of course, you're thinking there's got to be an easier way. I don't want to have to draw that, do I? Somebody just say, no, I don't want to draw. Because you don't want to draw it, we have what we call our little formula for area of rectangles. The area of a rectangle equals, who knows what the area formula for the area of a rectangle is? It's a pretty simple little thing. Sam, it is? Yeah, length of the rectangle times the width of the rectangle. A lot of times you see it abbreviated like this, A equals L W. Area equals length times width. Now, which one is which? When we talk about lengths and widths, it doesn't really matter which one you call which, but usually in math, we talk about the length. How do I know what side of a rectangle is the length side? Charlie?
The bottom.
Not necessarily. Usually, Trevor,
The longest side.
right, length is usually the longest side, and the width is usually the short side. Now, if you have a square, that might confuse you because all sides are the same, but usually when we talk about rectangles, we talk about shapes that look like this. So let's say this is 2 inches by 12 inches. You know, when you see these on your homework, Sam, you will do what? You will draw the rectangle, you will put the dimensions there, you will write the formula, and then you can plug the numbers in. Area equals 12, we'll put parentheses so we make it look smart. 12 times 2, so the area is 24 inches squared. Oh wait, that's the same area I got for that. How can that be? No, one's narrower and longer, and one's shorter and wider. What else do you think they ask us? Oh yes, we have to do one of these problems. Write down this example. The area of a square is 100 centimeters squared. What's its perimeter? Well, like we talked about there, children, the first thing you'd have to do is sketch it out. And what information do we know about this square? We know its area, Charlie, is
100%.
100 centimeters squared. How in the world am I going to find out what its perimeter is? Because to find perimeter, I have to add up all of its sides, but I don't know its sides, or do I? Well, you think about what the formula for area is. Area is length times width, which would be this times this. But since it's a square, we know what, Sam? What's a property of a square? Right, so you know these two numbers have to be equal. So you'd have to say to yourself, what same number when I multiply it together gives me 100, because that's what that would have to be. Is that a tough one? Liv, what same number times itself gives you 100? 50 times 50 is 2,500. 25 times 25 is 525, I believe. What? 625, is it? I'm sorry, Sam. How'd you know that? Did you know?
It's on a lot of papers.
I added it, I'm sorry. What number times itself gives you 100? Lilia?
10.
Yeah. You know these both have to be 10, because 10 times 10 is 100. And all sides would have to be 10. So the perimeter would have to be 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. And the perimeter then is 40. 625. What did I say? 525? Sam, you should be up here. I might quit for a while. So just make sure you sketch that out. They'll do that a lot with 5 inches, or they'll do it with 64 inches, or 25, or whatever it is. So methinks that you probably can handle this from here.